Let's go race in Dakar, baby.
No matter how much excitement or enthusiasm one has, the Dakar Rally is so immense, it can make anyone feel and look insignificant. It can stretch you beyond your bounds and scare the life out of you. Every competitor is made to feel like a hero, whether in Paraguay, Bolivia, or Argentina. Not one day is the same. There are times when you just want to stand, and others where you're forced to lie. It's the only time you hear a man behind the wheel admit he doesn't know where he's going. You better come ready for 4 seasons in a day and be ready to smile in any condition. Early mornings, late nights, river crossings, and high flights. Some are unique, like Soul Stars and Stripes. There's an incredible pride in fighting this fight. Sometimes the locals get a little too close, when all you want is a little more space. But hey, it's all part of the ultimate off-road race. Gear up. It's week 2 of Dakar 2017. The next time the competitors see a city the size and population of La Paz in Bolivia, they'll have reached the finish line in Buenos Aires at the end of the week. And what a feeling that will be. But before then, many more eventful miles, dunes, and long days. Speaking of great feelings, America's Ricky Brabeck experienced something truly special today. Even he can't believe it. More on that coming up. Stage 7 from La Paz to Uyuni is more than just Dakar's hump day. It's the first part of the only marathon stage of this year's rally. Today's leg originally had 200 of the total 386 miles dedicated as timed, but it got modified to just 100 miles due to the impact the recent bad weather had. Juan Pedrero is hoping to begin the second week like he did the first. That is, with a stage win. It was a super beginning for the Sherco rider. KTM's Toby Price quickly rebounded from 17th on day 1 to convincingly win stage 2 and go straight to the overall lead of the rally. Honda's Juan Barreda said anything you can do, so can I, to Price, and put a hurting on the field in stage 3. His victory was by more than 12 minutes. The ping-pong between Price and Barreda ended on stage 4 when the reigning champ was en route to win again, but crashed, broke a leg, and was out. If KTM has one thing, it's depth in talent. Austrian Matthias Walkner flew the flag in Price's absence and was victorious on the 4th stage, which was one that had it all. For example, Honda riders all received a 1-hour time penalty for refueling illegally. It really dented the chances of Barreda and American Ricky Brabeck. Sam Sunderland aboard his KTM was quick in stage 5 and got to the halfway point first. That's where the day ended due to flooding, and he won the day. Part 1 of the marathon stage, that means overnight there's no normal bivouac, they're on their own. Whatever maintenance and repairs are needed, it's up to each competitor to do whatever it takes to get to the finish of tomorrow's stage. Time to pose for a quick photo before the day's run, and everyone seemed keen to finally race again.
Above all, the strategy is not to break anything, to finish the first part of the marathon stage without any problems. I will need to take it easy to avoid any issues between now and the finish line.
The fan and constituent-friendly Evo Morales, president of Bolivia, also came along to see the riders.
Where are you from?
And it turned out to be quite the festive occasion. Race leader Sam Sunderland was given a presidential send-off by Morales, the British rider out to defend his 12-minute lead in the overall. To be first on road as rally leader was a completely fresh experience for the 27-year-old Brit. Paulo Gonçalves, the second man out of the gate, the Honda veteran, was obviously very excited to be back racing. But it would turn out to be another good day for him. Frenchman Adrien Van Beveren running third overall after a fine performance on Friday's fifth stage. The Yamaha rider hoping to close the gap on Pablo Quintanilla in second. Oh, watch that corner. That's the Gonçalves line. And so on to the Orinoco Dunes, again at altitude, where navigation is paramount. One of Yamaha's stars, Van Beveren, is a sand specialist, but even the best can be caught out on the Dakar. No major damage done to the rider, but his GPS system took a knock, which made life a little more challenging.
It wasn't easy. I got lost a couple of times. I didn't lose too much time. I wasn't lost for too long, so I'm happy about that.
Revelation of the day and perhaps the rally in the bikes, privateer Todd Smith. The Australian had a super day on his KTM, coming home 6th place and went 15th overall. Not bad for a Dakar rookie. It was also a 50-50 chance that he'd even make it this year. The 31-year-old from rural New South Wales was contacted by the team for the ride. Problem was, his brother wanted to go too. They flipped a coin and Todd won. He's certainly making the most of it. Not the easiest of days for one-time leader Pablo Quintanilla. The Chilean lost around 10 minutes, finishing 8th, but he still remains second in the overall. Like his compatriot Van Beveren, Xavier de Soltre also took a tumble today, but he recovered to finish 14th after a late penalty, but he was still styling. Juan Barreda was the king of navigation in the first week of the Dakar. The Spaniard wasn't exactly on fire in this 7th stage, but still did enough to wriggle his way to finish 4th. Sunderland lost direction somewhat at the start, but produced a solid performance to jump to 3rd on the day. The KTM man has already gone further in 2017 than his first 2 Dakar. He retired on Stage 3 in 2012 and Stage 4 in 2014. He looks comfortable though, doesn't he? This result extending his lead in the overall.
It was a lot more tricky than I expect. You know, yesterday we saw we only had 170 kilometers, and I was thinking it's nice because obviously I was opening, but the stage was really difficult. It was all in vegetation, and you couldn't see any of the pistes, and you had to be really accurate and also try to search the lines a little bit.
If it weren't for that 1-hour penalty, Paulo Gonçalves would be running in 2nd place. The Portuguese veteran has been the model of consistency this year with 3 podium finishes in 5 stages, and he made it 4 in 6 here today, coming 2nd. But Gonçalves was outdone by his Honda teammate Ricky Brabeck. The American stood tall today and secured his first ever Dakar stage win. He was frustrated last week, not only with the penalty, but some of his navigational work. He corrected that today. And what a special day, not only for Ricky, but the Works team. It's the first Honda 1-2 in this year's Dakar and really driving home the message they're back, 4 in the top 5. It was a Red Riders day.
The stage today was good. A lot of sandy tracks, a little dunes, but a lot of vegetation. So, I felt a little bit more at home with the off-piste. It was more my style, a little bit rougher. The last 50 Ks was all water holes, and I was going pretty good in the water holes, and then all of a sudden the bike lost traction, and I started sliding sideways, and I was kind of like speedway, sliding sideways, and then it flicked me off right into a big giant water hole. So I kind of went swimming, and I'm soaking wet. The whole bike was underwater. But I'm here and I had fun, so that's all that matters.
Up top, Sunderland has grown his lead to almost 18 minutes, but he's got to stay on the gas because look out, Bang Bang Beretta is back in the picture and coming. Only an hour and 14 back. Last year, Breivik finished second on a stage. Today, he won. Overall, he's only 39 minutes behind 8th place. If he can make up that deficit, he'd achieve another goal by beating his rookie performance last year of 9th. Ever seen two lions fight? Well, you're about to. The Peugeots of Stefan Peter Hansel and Sebastian Loeb are going dune for dune, turn for turn for this Dakar title. The 39th Dakar left La Paz this morning, site of the longest urban cable car system in the world, providing some stunning views of the Bolivian capital.
5 days on 4 different leaders. This is a good race, good start of the race.
So far, the view from the top of the cars class has been all Peugeots. Stefan Peter Hansel took the overall lead on the last stage before the rest day and could be on his way to an incredible 13th title. Right behind the Dakar legend is WRC star Sebastian Loeb, in contention to win the Dakar in only his 2nd attempt. Third overall is Cyril Dupre, a 5-time Dakar winner in the bikes, who last week won his first stage in a car.
It's nice to be part of the Peugeot team. Peter Hansel, Loeb, they are all really talented drivers.
It's really unpredictable. I hope we can continue to be concentrated and do some good stages.
We take the lead for nothing, but it's better than to be in the back.
Nasser Al-Attiyah won the first stage and appeared to be the main competition to Peugeot. But once the 2-time champion retired after stage 3, this French trio has seemed unstoppable. 87 cars started and 72 remain to see the second week, and even though this is a shortened stage, they all know how difficult the marathon is.
We need to keep an eye on the mechanical side because tonight we do not have assistance. We need to take care.
Even in the altered stage, the drivers headed into damp flats and dunes. The day proved trying for 2-time and defending Le Mans champion Romain Dumas. This is his 3rd Dakar. The endurance circuit racer is learning to be as good off the road as he is on. Nonetheless, he was running in the top 10 overall until this. He got stuck in a sandpit today and lost 25 minutes. Not exactly the conditions he's used to at Circuit de la Sarthe at Le Mans. Much more used to the sand is Sheikh Khalid Al-Qasimi, a Dakar rookie beating many Dakar veterans, likely helped by having last year's winning Peugeot car underneath him. Having switched from Mini to Toyota, Eric van Loon is still garnering attention. His 4th in 2015, the best ever by a Dutchman in the cars. He was 13th today. Now, after 6 years tackling the Dakar on 2 wheels, this is only the 2nd time in the cars for Jakub Prigonski, who's consistently been in the top 10 since stage 3. Today, the Mini was 15th quickest. And not far behind him was Eric Bernard, 18th quickest and still the highest placed buggy. So who did try and make a charge up the order?
100 meters for this. Very sharp left. This one. Very sharp left. We have to control.
One of the few cars taking it to Peugeot in week 1 was 15-time WRC race winner Mikko Hirvonen. The Finn's lone mistake came in the previous stage when the Mini lost 42 minutes to the leaders. Today, he had another top 5. It was good to see South African Janelle de Villiers back in the mix today. The 09 winner was eager to make up for time for poor navigation in week 1 and claimed 3rd on the stage today. Best in this rally.
You know, you had to really concentrate. You could easily get stuck. And then the last piece had quite a lot of water, which you had to try and avoid with a lot of stones. But yeah, we had a good run, so happy with the day.
The top Toyota and car giving Peugeot their biggest challenge was that of 2014 champion Nanni Roma. The Toyotas are heavier than the Peugeot and struggle with power at altitude. So Roma and co-pilot Alex Haro Bravo came out charging.
D'aquí 200 metres.
A la dreta?
No.
Sí, podem tallar baix,
És que no sé, aquí no, mira a mi encara. Sí, tira per aquí.
Sí, tio, que és la tallada aquella.
Normally on the Dakar, you can't turn around your overall result in one day, but Roma was 5th quickest on the day, 4 minutes faster than Dupre, but not the other two.
160 metros.
A kilómetro 60 me ha pasado Stefan y he
Stefan
intentado
Peterhansel passed us.
seguirlo.
We tried to follow, but no chance. So we decided just to do our own
Hemos
stage.
decidido
Now
hacer
all we can
nuestro
hope
día,
is that they
teníamos
have
que
problems,
pasarlo
sincerely.
y esperar a que bajemos de altura, sinceramente.
9-time World Rally champion Sebastian Loeb didn't lose much by being first on the road today. He and co-driver Daniel Elena have become a daunting prospect since their Dakar debut last year. Very few have been able to manage the flat-out speed and navigation that's essential to succeed in this event. One would think he'll certainly keep his teammate Peterhansel honest on a shortened stage like this. But the most successful driver in Dakar history met Loeb's challenge. Starting third, Peterhansel had the advantage of following the tracks left by Loeb and Roma in front of him and actually overtook the Spaniard who began 3 minutes in front of him. Peterhansel matched Loeb's speed, had a mistake-free run and won his third stage of the rally by only 48 seconds, while Dupre finished 9 minutes back in 7th, de Villiers his best stage of this Dakar.
Rough stage, a lot of camel grass, a lot of vegetation. Was not easy to see the track, to see the piste. We went in a good rhythm. We were thinking we were in a good rhythm, but Sebastian and Stefan were a little bit more faster, and they did well today.
The stage was complicated, especially the first part with a lot of navigation. But finally we found a way, so no big mistake in the navigations. I think we did a clean stage. Not a perfect one, but a good one.
We're fighting with Seb with a good speed. And yeah, I'm really happy because today we did a good navigation, no mistake at all. And but we won the stage, but with a small gap. So it's like nothing. And at the end, it's not really good for tomorrow because tomorrow this is the second part of the marathon stage, a long part, and I will open the road. So maybe it's not a good strategy.
Even with the stage win, Peterhansel's lead over Loeb is less than 2 minutes. Roma jumps over Dupre for third, but is still 11 minutes back. And a quadruple amputee, Philippe Poisson, completed another stage in his incredible Dakar journey. The Dakar experience is arduous on the best of days. Identical twins Tim and Tom Coronel had opposing fortunes in the Quagmire on Friday. Both competing in the solo T3 class, Tom waves on his brother and relies on the help of fellow Dutch competitor Ed Wigman to tow him. On board view of Tom Coronel being towed, the rescue is short-lived as the tow bar snaps. Again on board with Tom being towed, and attempt number 2 is more successful. Stranded assistance truck. But who assists the assistance trucks? It's been stressful. Tom Coronel taking oxygen. It's not just the vehicles suffering at this brutal altitude.
And they also give me some oxygen.
After unprecedented rain, the stage has turned to quicksand, trapping several trucks. This is the preparation needed for a big lift. Improvisation, cooperation and brute force save the day. The truck graveyard is cleared by any means necessary. Recognise that face? He's America's newest Dakar star and his name is Ricky Brabeck. He won today's Stage 7 and is now part of a special club. We'll hear more from the Californian when we come back. USA's Ricky Brabeck has done a lot in his 25 years on the planet. Baja 250, 500 and 1,000 victories just to set the picture. But winning a stage on the Dakar elevates any rider to a whole new level.
I wanted to do better than last week. Last week was rough for me and rough for the team with our penalty. You know, as a whole team, we made a mistake. But you know, I think we have a good chance still. You know, there's 5 days left of racing, and a lot can happen.
He's now in the club. Americans who have won a stage at Dakar Club, and that's epic. He's the first US rider to win a stage since the late Kurt Caselli in 2013. In the trucks today, the only colour you needed to know was the familiar blue of the Russian Kamaz team. Dmitry Sotnikov, who led the class overall after stage 4 without getting a win, finally got that stage victory today. And boy, does it make things close. In the trucks, less than 6 minutes covers the top 3. Quads, it's heating up as well with 15 minutes blanketing the top 4. In the bikes, it's a little longer, just over half an hour takes care of the top 5, while in the cars, 14 minutes is all that separates first to fourth. Join us tomorrow as the Dakar leaves Bolivia and crosses into Argentina for the longest time section of the rally, 305 miles. It's a descent from the Bolivian Andes where all hope to avoid a downhill path. Coverage of Stage 8 begins at 6:30 p.m. Eastern. For our entire NBC Sports team, I'm Lee Diffie, saying thanks for taking the Dakar journey with us.